I'm a less frequent visitor than I should be. I understand that. But I came
You're
in...
a very busy guy.
All right, I came in a year ago, a bit late, during a series of conversations, and David asked me the same question, and I said subprime, and he said, no, that topic has been beat to death. Don't worry about it. And that was early 2008, and he said, just don't worry about it. We've talked about that. What's happening? I am privileged to have certain conversations, and I am a part of the milieu. The situation continues to be not good, and I can say that really not good. The reason I haven't been here a lot recently is because we've looked at the precipice on several occasions, and the precipice of systemic problems exists. It's an ongoing issue that people are very concerned about at every level of the financial system. I had an interesting conversation tonight. The reason I was late, I was with a representative of the Bank of Canada, and it's a conversation because it's a conversation amongst many that we have. The question is, since the market is not working right now, and the market is not working, we go on our daily lives, we have our daily lives, we borrow at cheaper rates, everything seems to be working, but fundamentally the guts of what we do on a day-to-day basis, big stuff, is not working still. We have rates for LIBOR, and our bankers' acceptance and credit are still at levels that are multi-generational spreads. It's just not right. So the system is still not working. And the question is, because the Bank of Canada has to report, or they have to do something on rates next week, I guess. What should they do? So the Bank of Canada's at 1%, the Fed's at 0.5%. Somebody's sleeping up there. We're at 0%. Does anybody care whether or not they're borrowing at 0% or 1%? No, really.
Explain what life would be like at 1%. 0%.
0% is Japan for the last decade.
Yes.
That's not a great life. So what would you prefer, the last decade, or what they call the lost decade in Japan, or a decade that says, okay, we've done enough, everything that we've done should work, and it will get better? Because the world I work in is at the precipice of it's the end of the world, or it's going to get better. There's no in between. It's good or bad. So we're not talking the interesting discussions we have about income trusts or everything else anymore. We're really talking about something.
Margaret's not here.
Yes, I know. I've had to put a phone call into Margaret recently, so.
Oh dear.
It's a very interesting world that we're working in right now. And life goes on. The really neat thing about what we do is that life goes on every day. There are people that really are concerned about this, that are working very hard to find solutions, that are working very hard to solve some stupidity that existed, but there will be stupidity again in the future. It's the way we work. We're smart, we're stupid, it happens. Problem is, this one's going to take a pile of shovels to dig itself out of. And what I would like to say, if we were going to bet on the Bank of Canada, I guess next week, because I was asked to place a bet tonight in a very coached fashion, because if I was giving advice, that's one thing, but I'm allowed to place a bet, that's something else. And I place a bet that they don't change interest rates next week.
Okay.
The market is expecting 50 basis points cut to move to 0.5%. The reality is...
Can we quote you on it?
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
It's fine, because I really think that the Bank of Canada and they really should send a signal, because the Bank of Canada is no longer setting rates. They're sending messages.
Setting what?
Messages. They're sending signals. They're telling people, they're giving them advice. because what they used to do in terms of credit doesn't work anymore. And so the bank is now the last place you have to go to have some comfort that the world is going to be okay. And my bet, which is I was asked to do tonight, is that the bank would move 0% next week or the week after. Even though the market is expecting...
We would move to 0%.
No, they would do nothing. They would do nothing. They would say effectively that the world is going to be okay. Because a cut means that we solve a problem. And a move to 0% at current levels, which isn't affecting our lives anymore. I'm sorry, the difference between 1% and 6% is important. The difference between 3% and 13%, my first mortgage was at 15%, and I locked in a 5-year mortgage at 9.95 because I'd never seen single-digit mortgages before. We're talking about a population that needs to have some confidence that says, it's okay. We don't have to go to zero anymore. There's no more free money. The world is going to be okay tomorrow.
Do we have the influence in the world?
We don't have influence. We make bets with people that carry a book on the bets. My market says that they're going to cut by 50 basis points. The market that I'm responsible for says that the Bank of Canada is expected to reduce rates by another 50 basis points to come in line with the European Union, with the U.S. and everybody else. And I think that given the conjuncture of the visit next week of Obama, all of these elements together say it's a very strong signaling mechanism. It would be the first central bank that didn't cut rates in a long time. And it's a real opportunity to send a signal to the world to say, it's okay. The plan is going to work. It's not going to work tomorrow. It's not going to work this year. Guess what? The economy's going to suck for a year. There's friends that are going to lose their jobs. We're going to hit massive records of unemployment, but we're going to come out of this. And that's the discussion we're having right now.